Hey guys, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance number 34. We are finally up to some progress and I finally don't need to wash myself. That's nice. Anyways, we are going to the Kobila, our greatest lord, you see. Okay, and I might as well see Teresa. Yeah. And we are here. Hi, Teresa.
I've brought you something.
I don't know what. Probably. Oh, I see. Jewelry, I guess. Sure, I'm not gonna give Bianca string, of course. That would be silly.
Oh, Hal. Is this for me? This must have cost you a fortune. But I like it very much, thank you. You really mustn't bring me any more gifts like that, or you'll spoil me.
But I didn't give her anything. Okay, that's interesting.
Don't you want to do something together again?
That sounds wonderful. Everyone says the Broken Wheel Tavern is the fun place to be in the evening. I want you to take me there.
Have you ever been to a tavern?
Me and my father used to stop at the tavern in the glade when he was taking the flour into town, but he never wanted to take me inside. What do you think, Hal? Shall we go?
Well, I don't see why not. But you'll have to try some ale while you're there.
I will, I promise.
Let's be going then.
Alright. Let's go.
Go to taverns a lot, do you?
Sometimes. If I want a proper meal, I have to. You wouldn't want to eat the stuff I cook.
That's true. I haven't forgotten that bet you made back in Skalitz that time.
Don't talk about those oat cakes. Fritz's belly heaves at the very mention, even now.
And that's where you go to woo wenches, is it?
Yeah, naturally. The taverns and baths are where the best ones gather.
You lout.
There's no need to take it the wrong way.
I'm not taking it any way at all.
It's all right. I'm only joking. I don't go picking up women in taverns. I prefer a different sort.
What sort might that be?
All mouth and green eyes.
You're such a...
Come on then. So, here we are. Shall we order something?
Yes, definitely.
Service?
Ah, a pair of lovebirds. What would you like to order?
You touched it with your nose.
Is it all right?
It's excellent.
This ale, there's no better in the province.
You know what?
What? What are you doing? Oh, no.
Oh,
But really?
Yes. Oh, come on, be brave.
No, I've never...
Hand on my hip.
I don't even know how.
And off we go.
But really, I don't know how.
You're doing just fine.
All right. No,
All right.
it's fine. All right. Oh, very nice. Not so bad.
And
wore me
you
out.
said you couldn't dance.
How about a dance with a real man?
How about you leave me alone and bother someone else?
Oh, come on. It's a crime to waste a body like that on a scrawny boy like him. You got tits like a cow and calf. Ah, that's it. I like a woman to fight before I fuck her.
Pervert.
You'll pay for that, boy.
Let's do that.
Ah.
Problem?
Keep going, Hal!
Mrutka!
What? Yeah, I'm punching him out. Sheesh. Always miss. Boom. Disarmed. Disfaced, rather.
My hero. Does it hurt?
No.
You should worry about the other fella. I'm fine. Ow!
Of course you are. That's why you wince every time I touch you.
I didn't
You
lose
saw
any
him
health.
off, though. He wasn't feeling so playful after you'd finished with him.
That tickles.
Baby. So, you'll probably be fine. But try to give your hands some rest. Don't go lifting anything too heavy.
Thank you. Can I take you home?
You never give up. Are you sure you don't need a bit more rest? I can find my own way home.
I'll manage those few extra steps.
Come on then, hero.
I'll give you this. Nights out with you might be painful, but they're never boring.
I do my best.
You should go in before Peshek starts fretting. Oh.
Well, we'll ask her later. I don't remember the game being saved. Although, yeah, let's go sleep. Anyways, then we'll see Radzikobila.
Watch where you're going.
Sure, I'm going home. Somewhat. Yeah, it just looks like my home. In response to massive demand, this book contains 100 pages entirely dedicated to the phenomenon of nettles. Wow, that's a little too much. Oh, and now I can read this, right? I think. Peace and quiet at home, enough quicksilver and the sulfate of lead. Now time to make gold. Oh, I can't. Yeah, figured. Alright, and now the game saved. And it's like 6 AM, so we can go now to our greatest lord.
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thanks.
sir.
I tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Ah, I see.
you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
What?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir.
Something interesting, I see. Okay, so where's the Bernard? Right there. Get the keys quick.
Jesus, look where you're going! Huh?
What? Okay, whatever. Not gonna question. Now, how about we play a little bit of Assassin's Creed?
I have some,
Let's see. Bastards deserved it.
I need the key to Jezek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
If I were you, I wouldn't question Sir Radzig's orders. Give me the key.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Okay, that's kind of odd. I managed to get my horse right here.
Are you serious?
Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
Radzig will keep me alive only as long as it takes to get everything I know out of me. You, on the other hand, gave me certain assurances. So I want to be sure that the secrets my life depends on end up in good hands.
Alright.
I didn't promise you anything, but I'll see what I can do.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual.
Yeah.
So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago. And they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
This Eric? You reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so. This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I can try, but I can't promise you anything.
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things. There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
Yeah. Ooh, cool. So,
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn. So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
yeah.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. So Jezek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
I think I know where I could ask. I helped at the infirmary in Sasau, and there was a wounded man there by the name of Thomas, a suspicious type to say the least. He might know something.
Good. I'd rather see you seeking out better company, but that can't be helped. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
Sir, there's one more thing. Sir Jezek went with me without resistance, because I promised him he could come to an agreement with you.
My boy, my boy. You make promises in my name? That could turn out very badly for both of us. But, if it can prevent bloodshed, why the hell not? We may well come to some arrangement after all, but I can't say yet what will become of him. You'd better run along.
As you command, sir. I've got a few questions for you, Bailiff, if you don't mind. Have you been having some trouble around here?
And what business is it of yours? Did someone complain? Who sent you?
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might. It was Lord Radzig who sent me. He'd heard word that some unsavoury characters are holed up round here.
Begging your pardon, but what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing the same from Sir Sebastian, and he's got no dog in this fight either.
Sir Sebastian? Who's that?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery law to protect us against all this unrest in the land.
Why should he care about the city? That's not his jurisdiction, is it?
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding around here, and I should be more vigilant. The goal of the man.
You have an inn, and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come seeking work, and not all of them honest men.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out once or twice, and restoring order was no easy matter.
Has there been anything like that lately?
No. It's been quiet here lately. But now that I think about it, I don't recall coming across anyone here like that.
Nobody looking for soldiering work, maybe as a merchant's guard?
There's always one or two like that. But if they don't get the job, they move on.
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sasau. Seemed likely they get up to mischief and people might complain.
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman's the only one that comes complaining, but I pay no heed to him.
And what does this Lederman complain about?
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry, which is where, well, some youngsters go there to wrestle.
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl there than in the tavern. At least in the quarry they can't damage anything but each other. And my catchpoles go by there from time to keep an eye on things.
Have you heard any talk of strangers in the town? Maybe people acting oddly?
Nothing worth mentioning. Sure, there's been some talk about the miller. Folks saying they've been seeing him doing this or that, or people visiting him at night, but he's never done anything. He's a decent enough man, for a miller.
I'll try asking him if he's heard anything.
He lives on the other side of the river, by the bogs. But don't go getting your hopes up. He might not be able to help.
Well, I'm kinda in a good reputation with millers, if you know what I mean.
Thank you, Bailiff.
My respects to you, sir.
Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
And what's your idea of suspicious?
Have you heard of anyone looking to hire some rough men?
Mercenaries, you mean?
Yes.
There were some fellows conspiring here in the corner twice a week, and others coming and going. They didn't look entirely respectable, but they never made any trouble.
And what happened to them?
I don't know, they just stopped coming. And I haven't seen hide nor hair of them since.
You haven't heard anything about where they went?
How could I have? They just stopped coming, and that's that.
Here we are.
Where do you think they might be meeting now?
How should I know? I'm an honest innkeeper, not a man at arms. They could be meeting at another inn. They could be meeting in the woods by the light of the moon, for all I know.
Is there any way I'll recognize them?
Unquenchable thirst. They drank like fish. They were rough-looking too, big-bearded and scruffy. Aside from that, they mostly kept to themselves.
That's not much help. What did they do while they were waiting for someone?
They drank. And they played dice. I do remember there were always dice on the table.
So they were fond of dice, were they? And where would you find a game around here?
Anywhere there's dice and usually drink. That's all you need for a game. Although it dawns on me now, I never saw Simon with those men, oddly enough. He's got a nose for drunken dice players with a coin to lose.
Simon who?
Why, the young miller. He runs Katzig Mill. Neighbours are always slandering him for trafficking, but who knows? Maybe he just has a knack for business.
You don't know where I might find some...
Pour me one.
More dishonourable folk.
And why would you want them? You'll set tongues wagging about you.
But they'd be the ones to know what reputable townsfolk don't.
I grant you that. Well, we don't have an executioner, just a knacker. But he's an odd fellow. Like any knacker, I suppose. And there's some strange tales about Miller Simon, too. But I'd say it's just jealousy.
What can you tell me about the knacker?
Here.
Decent folk don't talk about him. He deals in carcasses.
I was hoping you'd tell me a bit more than that.
Why should I care about him? He lives in a house by the church, and that's all I know. And all I'll say.
What can you tell me about Simon?
There's not much to tell. He runs Katzig Mill, and some say thieves meet there at night. But isn't there gossip about every miller? I don't think he's a sinner. But only God knows for sure.
Anything else?
You might not find him at the mill. He's a busy man, always out and about making some deal or other. And he likes to throw dice, especially when he sees a fat purse hanging on a drunken belly.
Thank you for the help.
Not at all. But why off so soon? Sit down for a tankard or a bite to eat.
Alright, you got more leads.
Are you the local knacker?
I'm the local grave digger. But if there aren't any burials to take care of, I'll turn me hand to knackery.
Well, then you might know a lot of things that others don't.
I'm a decent man. Not always honest, but deep.
Anything fishy going on in these parts?
There certainly is. Candles are being stolen from the church, as brazen as that. What sort of people do that?
Ah, but have you heard of anyone around here hiring adventurers and bandits?
How would I know that? Most people avoid talking to me. I don't even go to the tavern much these days.
Thank you. I'll be going now.
Very well. Feel free to stop by any time. People shy away from me, except when there's a death or the cesspit's full.
Okay, that's kind of colorful, but I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like that.
Tanner, I've heard all's not well with you.
It's better now. I must have eaten something bad.
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell behind your house.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my side. And when I went to tell them to take it elsewhere, they nearly beat me to a pulp.
When are they there?
Nearly every evening. Every god-forsaken evening. Shouting and bellowing there till nightfall. And then they leave. Probably to get drunk.
How many of them are there?
How would I know? They make as much noise as a herd of wild boar in rutting season.
And did they all attack you?
Aye. They knocked the stuffing right out of me.
And nobody does a thing about it?
I've been to the bailiff, but he couldn't give a rat's arse. There's no commotion under his window, so what does he care?
That's quite a bailiff you've got.
A scarecrow would keep better order.
If you want, I'll take care of them.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but there are several of them and just one of you.
Perhaps we'll be able to settle things peacefully.
Maybe. They might think twice before kicking your arse.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come to blows.
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't. But if you manage to pull it off, you'll get your reward. Don't worry.
I'm looking for some people you might know something about.
If they come here to drink, maybe. But I won't aid you in any mischief.
Oh, no.
I've heard some rough men come here looking to recruit. Have they ever stopped in to eat or drink, or to arrange something?
There were some brawlers that used to fight behind the tavern, but they raised such a commotion, I went and complained, and the town watch drove them off somewhere.
I wasn't thinking about that lot. I'm looking for recruiters that hire mercenaries and other cutthroats.
Don't know about that. Every once in a while, a merchant will hire some help or an escort, but nothing more. Nobody comes here regular. I'd notice if they did.
Do you happen to know where the brawlers you complained about moved on to?
I've not got the slightest inkling. I'm just glad all the shouting stopped. It scared the horses in the stables.
You haven't heard talk of any scoundrels in town?
Well, I have heard some things, but I can't say if they're true or not. There's some that talk just to hear the sound of their own voices.
And who's the most frequent topic of that kind of gossip?
Miller Simon. They say he's rich with coin, and it's not from the mill. But that's nonsense. Folk just don't know how much a mill can earn.
Anyone else?
Aye, there's talk of the knacker giving people the evil eye, or them that's not in bailiff's good graces. But I don't suppose that's what you want to know.
Yeah, I already know that.
Thank you, Inky.
Not at all. Would you like something to eat?
I've heard it's not quite as lively here as it once was.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Guests are always making merry when there's a drink to be had.
That's not quite what I meant. I'd heard there were some stable boys staying here for a long while looking for work, but it took too long and they took to causing trouble.
True, but that's nothing new. No, the thing is, there's not many wagons coming through at all. Folk are afraid to travel far in case they get done in by some cutthroats or, God forbid, have their wagons requisitioned by some army.
So there are fewer travellers, and some of them must be a little unsavoury.
I take anyone who turns up. They come one day and leave the next, maybe with someone else. Past few weeks I've only had trouble with one who skipped off without paying.
He just vanished, without a word.
Well, he said he lost all his silver to the miller, and he had to go and see him about something. Only he never came back. Left all his belongings here.
Do you still have them?
Of course not. I sold them all a few days later when he didn't come back. The buyer's gone now too, before you ask. But there wasn't much there in any case. The seller didn't even cover his bill.
Alright, that's it, I guess.
Shit. What's going on?
How are you doing? Feeling better yet?
Aye, much better. I'm truly grateful. A bit longer and I'll be able to run back to the woods and carry on. Well, never mind. Very kind of you to look in on me.
Truth be told, I didn't come just for your health.
What do you need?
Well, I've heard tell there's work for fearless men who enjoy a bit of silver.
Ah, I believe I can help you with that. They used to frequent the tavern, but now they meet in the church.
The church?
Aye, that's right. The church is locked at night, but if you see a light, the door will be open. Go in there and wait. Say a prayer or something, and then you'll see.
That's it? I don't need to speak to anyone?
Just doing what I told you is enough. They'll give you a good look over and see if you've got the metal. Don't you worry about that.
All right, thank you.
You took care of me, why wouldn't I help you? Tit for tat, eh?
What do I do?
Hey! Watch it!
Eesh, that's loud. Okay, got vitality, apparently, by jumping or something. Yeah, I'm sure this also needs to be resolved at night.
I heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know?
Willing to do anything? Meaning what? Something filthy like helping the knacker? I wouldn't know. Go and ask someone else.
That's not what I meant, but all right. What happened with the tanner?
Nothing out of the ordinary. He came to test his mettle like everyone, but he couldn't even get past young Weed. Then he started whining about getting his money back because we tricked him, so we threw him out. He came back a few times after that complaining about all the shouting, ordered us to bugger off elsewhere.
But you didn't?
No. And when he got really annoying, he got a punch in the mouth, and he hasn't been back since. Doesn't dare to. But it didn't shut that big mouth of his.
I've heard that someone's looking...
If I knew you better, I might tell you. But as things stand...
Okay.
What went on with the tanner?
When things got lively, I wasn't here. The others were, though. Go ask them.
I'm looking for work, and I've heard someone around here wants fearless men. Do you know anything about it?
I've heard they might be looking for a new knacker. So if you're not afraid of carcasses and the occasional pile of shite...
Thanks, but no thanks. Word has it someone's hiring mercenaries and other fighters.
Ah, well, you've heard more than I.
The tanner sent me. He says you've been causing a commotion at night, and I thought I might convince you to stop.
Ha! So all his whining finally found a friendly ear, did it? Let me tell you something first, whelp. I'm the bailiff's man, and we're not doing anything wrong here. Old Lederman's only been whining like that since he lost a bit of silver. Didn't bother him before that.
He told me different.
Ha! Of course he did. Otherwise no one would help him. Go ahead and ask the lads. They'll tell you the same. It's God's honest truth.
I'll take you at your word. But what should I do now?
The way I see it, you've got two choices. Screw that old liar and leave him be, or get down to business.
Or there's a third possibility.
Yeah.
What would that be?
We put one over on that pinch penny. I'll tell him I've taken care of everything, and you and your friends don't show up here for a few days. I'll get a reward, and we can split it. And then you can come back later. It's practically free money.
GG.
I like the sound of that tune. The devil take the tanner. We'll hole up somewhere else for a few days, and you come and see us once you've got the coin. All right?
I want to get better at fist fighting.
Certainly.
What are you doing here?
Nothing special. Just a little evening wrestling. It's good for your back and digestion. And your purse too, if you know your business.
If I wanted to join in, what would I have to do?
It's pretty simple. First you have to beat Weed. He's that not too dangerous looking fella there. But some nights, he gets a good rest and he's got God on his side. Then you can try one of those three. Doesn't matter which. And if you whip all three, you can test your mettle against me. Fair enough.
So the last match is with you?
That's right. They say a bout with me is no joke. Just bad humours.
I see. I'll do it later.
I've taken care of the lads who were bothering you. You'll have a quiet evening tonight.
God bless you, lad. And here's something for your trouble and kindness. Unlike that miserable bailiff.
If anything else grieves you, just say the word.
Oh, nice. And they increased my unarmed for some reason. Cool, I guess.
The groschen I got from old Lederman.
I hope he wasn't as tight as a drum. He always struck me that way.
Here's your full share.
That's not half bad. All that messing and fussing paid off.
And when do you aim to be back?
A day or two. We'll see.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Amen.
What?
Kingdom come, you say.
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
Aha.
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like? People talk?
Oh, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
I don't recall his name, but he was one of your friends. He said that he couldn't take me straight to you, that I had to go through the church.
He was right about that. But he still said more than he should have.
I know my way around. You won't go wrong with me.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight. But not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius? And why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but
he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty.
And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Or he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister. Or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and pious. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
Okay.
Murder someone in a monastery? Have you gone mad?
Murder's a sin as it is. Doesn't really matter where you do it.
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling blood on hallowed ground.
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's less sacred. I don't give a damn where you do it, just as long as he ends up dead.
How will I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal. He always went about well dressed and had a fine-looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk. Then send him straight to hell.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
Where better? There's more wine there than in the royal cellars, and I doubt he's suddenly stopped drinking.
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright?
Okay, another cutscene. The key. Right, a perk and a new level and a save. Wow, guys, if you can't beat them, you know how they say. But poverty, chastity and obedience. Ooh, okay. Okay, I'ma go with that. Okay, let's wait. Alright, so I'm very sure, I'm certain that this is probably the greatest place to end this. Alright, so first let's increase our skill. Yeah, one of these. Sheesh. So it's one of these. You see, those increase things. Oh, and it's a really hard decision to make. I might get this. Because I don't really get any low reputation anywhere. Huh. And getting speech, strength and agility and vitality. Wow. That's a good one. So I will see you next time and goodbye.